Why I'm so excited about land development and multifamily? Because they give so many aspects that you can work on. As much you know the number, understand how to use a specific technique and connect with the right people, right? I've been using this for the last several years and I've been learning all this technique in Canada and US. And I do the same thing in Mexico. You want to know more about number? Stick with the end of the video. Okay, multifamily is the way to go. Usually we start with single family rent. We add 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 10 or more or less, and then we switch to multifamily. Why? Because we understand that it's much easier to work around and you will get more profit with less work. So what we do here in Canada and US usually is the same concept. We try to create an interesting plan for how to get the money from private lender. We try to not go to the bank, right? And then what happened, once we got all the fund, we understand the process, acquisition, maybe we do a private lender take it back, we understand how much percentage we have to give. So maybe the first year we are a little bit tight, right? But let's give an example so we understand how we can use in Canada and US. And we use the same technique in Mexico. So that's how we've been doing the land development. So I'm going to show it to you. So bring a pen and pencil and write it down. So hopefully it will work for you. So let's say we have, let's say for a multifamily, you already have a certain level and you have, let's say 250 units. And let's say this building you already buy, it's with the low maintenance and stuff like that. So you start with, let's say, $1,000. So you got $250,000 per month, and so your annual income will be around, let's say, 3 million, right? So for easy math, let's say that half of this goes to, let's say, the capital venture, some other type of acquisition, the private lender, tax, and so forth, right? So let's say we have $1,500,000. Okay, so basically this is our NOI. Now, how's it work in multifamily? We know it's a percentage to understand the cap rate, and that's where we get usually the green light from a private lender or a bank to understand how much revenue you get from the value of the house, right? So let's say you have 1.5 and we divide for 0.5. So let's say we have 1.5, we divide by 0.5. So we have a cap rate of 30 million. Okay, so what we do in multifamily usually, most of the time, we try to squeeze maybe an extra room, or most of the time what we do, we increase the rent, right? So let's say we increase the rent, we understand that, you know, there is so much going on around, so definitely it's valuable and we have to put, I don't know, $200 more. So let's put here, we add $200 more. Okay, so what happened, we got the rent of $1,200, and 1,200 multiplied by 30 and multiplied by 250, one or the other, right? It's $900,000 multiplied by 12. Oh, the math is wrong, so let's do it again. So we have 1,200 multiplied by 250 and multiplied by 12. So we got 3,600,000. Okay, same thing. We divide by 2. We got 1,800,000. So that is your NOI. So what's the cap rate? We divide by 0.5 and we got 36 million. So we got 6 million more, adding $200. Wow, fantastic, right? Now, obviously, we have to have information, understanding, learning process, understand how we do the acquisition, get the money, because for 250 unit, probably we have to spend a couple $1,000,000, right? So it's a process, a learning process. But how we can transfer this in land development in Mexico? Okay, so remember 36 million, and we have to do this at the end of the year. Also, after maybe the second year when we add $200. Okay, or also you can do the same thing, just start at 1200, you got 36 million, right? So you got an increase of the cap of 36 million. So let's make it easy here. Okay, so in Mexico, so reference now for Mexico, it's referred also to a video I've made on YouTube, so I suggest you to watch it, where I believe it was a land acquisition of 1 acre of $750,000. Okay, so let's say you have 1 acre, and we know that on average you can build with 45% of green around. So you have 22 houses or boutique hotel. But let's make half of everything we just said before. Okay, so let's say we have we can build 11 boutique hotel. Okay, and what we had there 250, so half is 125 units. So we have 125 units. Now let's say, and how work also for rental vacation home. So an average price in Tulum for a boutique hotel, it's around $100, okay, per day. So let's say we have $100 and we multiply by 125 units, so we have $12,500 per day. Now, what's the average of rental? Be conservative. We saw that usually, not usually, we saw that in 2 years of COVID, where return on investment, it was at 8%, which is very low, and it was capacity of 67%. So we talk about above 15, 16 days per month. So an average, be conservative, between 11 and 14 days. So let's cut half, let's take the average of that. So let's say 12. So let's say we multiply the 12,500 for 12 days per month. So we multiply by 12. So we got $150,000 a month, which will give you an annual of NOI of $1,800,000. Okay, so let's say again everything goes half whatever they need to go, so we have what, $900,000. $900,000, the cap divided by 2 divided 0.05, so we got 18 million. 18 million with $100 calculated per day for 12 days rental. Okay, now this type of apartment, this type of unit, okay, we talk about around an average of good 800 square feet. So what we do in multifamily, we increase the rent, right? But what we do here, we double up the rent for the same unit. Why? Because it's called lock off. That's what we do in Mexico. So we do lock off. We close the 2 room. They can use and they can share the kitchen and the balcony and some other amenity if they are in a gated community, for example, or a boutique hotel, right? That's what I'm talking about before, the 40% green. So that's where you're building the extra stuff that the people that live inside the unit, they can use it, like a swimming pool or other stuff, right? You can build also a small bar, restaurants, right? So there are so many ideas that you can do it. Anyhow, so you have $200 that technically, and that's very conservative, you can make per day. So let's do the math. That's what is fascinating. So let's say you have now $200, same thing. So we got $200, we multiply for 125 units, and which is $25,000. $25,000 we multiply by 12, and we got $300,000 a month, which will give you an NOI annually of $3,600,000. So 3,600,000. But again, let's half. But usually it's not half. It's much less than half. Okay, but I'm going to spend another video this type of percentage. So let's say divide by 2. What we got, 1,800,000. That is our reference of NOI. Sorry, NOI. So what's the cap? 0.05. It's 36 million. So 36 million is double from the 18, right? For 18 million. So your cap rate increase with only $100. There we had $200 more on top, and then also you have to have double of the unit, right? So it's crazy. So you may have half of that work in Mexico, and that's all your advantage. And trust me, it's much more this number here. So if you want to know more about, let me know and I can help you with the number. Okay, hopefully this enjoy and give you more understanding how to create more financial and distribution your asset. Ciao. So if this number makes some sense for you, please let me know, and I hope that will help you to understand how to leverage your cash flow, your asset distribution. I don't want to say it's easy, but once you connect with the right people, you can develop a different type of strategy. Maybe you can work a little bit less, but we use the same technique that we've been using in Mexico for the last couple of years with the great result. So let us know if you have any question. We always love to help and grow as a community. Ciao.